Hey guys, it's Randy and welcome back to my channel, Zero Waste, Zero Worries, where I talk about saving the earth and inherently ourselves. Today's video is a little late. I'm aware that I am moving to college in like 2 days, so I've had a lot of stuff going on and haven't really had time to film, but I don't really think anyone cares, so. Anyway, this is my Plastic Free July challenge video in which I show you guys what kind of trash I created in the month of July. The actual challenge is to just not create any type of plastic waste in the month of July, but I took it a couple steps further and tried not to create any trash that was non-recyclable during the month of July because I already wasn't consuming a lot of plastic to begin with. I tried to be pretty hard on myself for this challenge, but I did have to end up making one exception, and that was to not count trash that was given to me by other people. I wasn't initially doing this at the beginning of the month, but as the month got into like the second week, I realized that I wasn't creating these pieces of trash and that they really shouldn't be counted because that's kind of unfair to me. And if you don't know what I mean, an example is like on the second day of July, my grandma bought me a cupcake from like some famous cupcake place. And although the cupcake came in a cardboard box, the lining wasn't recyclable. But I didn't buy that product, I didn't ask for that product, therefore I didn't create that waste. Do you know what I mean? So I had it in my jar and then I took it out because I thought that that was kind of unfair. To give everyone an idea of what I was doing in the month of July, aside from packing / preparing for college, the only other thing I did was work a small summer job in which I was a teacher's assistant at a debate camp. And I thought this was going to be a problem and that I was going to create some form of trash while I was there. And I actually did not create any trash, which I was pretty impressed with because everything on this college campus that we were on was pretty accommodating. So yeah, I didn't create any trash while I was there. However, I did create a little bit of trash elsewhere in the month, and this jar contains almost all of the trash that I created in the month of July. I say most of my trash because the things I didn't put in here were one styrofoam plate from Dairy Queen. I ordered cheese fries and I never get a styrofoam plate when I order cheese fries, but I did this time. So I had the styrofoam plate, and then I had a couple of like paper napkins / paper food liners from restaurants that I went to over the month. So those are the only things that weren't in here, but now I'll show you guys what I actually have in here. First thing that's in my jar is this piece of plastic wrap that I got from a garlic slicer that I bought on the last day of July. I am a big fan of putting garlic in my food, and the garlic slicer came in this, which does have a recycling sign on it. It's a 5, which means I can't recycle it at any facility even near me. The second non-recyclable item I had is a wrist bracelet thing that shows that I could have gotten into the Road for Change tour. If you don't know what that is, it is a tour that the victims from Parkland, Florida were on in order to spread awareness for gun violence prevention. These are paper, but they're coated in wax, meaning that they can't be recycled. But this isn't going to enter a landfill anyway because I think I'm going to keep it and put it somewhere. The next 3 things I had in the jar all went to the same thing, and this was honestly one of the only purchases I made in July, but I can tell you already that I am using the crap out of it. It's a thermos with a straw, reusable straw. I get dehydrated extremely easily unless I have a straw in my drink. I don't know why I'm that way, it's a thing. But I went ahead and bought the thermos because I needed to be drinking more water, and I knew I would with the straw. So on that came a couple of labels, this being one of them. It's paper, but it has a wax coating, so I could not recycle that. And then the straw came in a like plastic bag wrap thing. So it's another piece of plastic that I consumed this month. And then the only frustrating part about this purchase was that they felt the need to put a piece of plastic on there that just says "Great for smoothies" 3 times. Why? So as you can see, a couple of pieces of plastic came from that, but I think it could have been worse. They could have put the whole thermos in a plastic bag or something, but they didn't. So kind of good on you, Target, kind of. The next 3 things I have in my jar are all related to each other as well, and that is medicine related waste. This was a packet to my birth control for my face. Not that it matters what I'm taking birth control for, get over it. And then I have 2 stickers that were put on the paper bag that they gave me. I didn't really think about it until this month, but there's a lot of trash created from the medical field and prescriptions, but I think that's kind of an exception considering that there is no way that I'm about to get like birth control in bulk. It's not gonna happen. We're almost near the end of my jar already, but the next two things that were in there, I'm just gonna flash you guys really quick because it's kind of gross. Anyway, it's dental floss and a flosser that goes with it. I thought really long and hard about how I was supposed to be able to avoid dental floss during the month of July, and I went to the dentist that month also, and they told me about using a water pick, which I am using now. So that's why I only had like one piece of dental floss in there. But another thing is that I have a permanent retainer right here on my teeth, which means that I have to have a flosser that goes with it. I can't just stick the floss through the retainer. That's not how it works. But that probably is a problem for a lot of people who have permanent retainers because you need that and they are plastic. I know there are refillable options for dental floss, but if you want to completely eliminate dental floss, look into a water pick. It literally just shoots water between your teeth, and my dentist specifically said that she would prefer me to use that just because it's less abrasive on your gums. So, suggestion? Now here's the most aggravating trash that I have in my jar, and it's 3 of the little like clothing plastic things. I don't know what these are called. But they didn't actually come on clothing. They came on a freaking pineapple. Obviously the surface of a pineapple is kind of rough to put a fruit sticker on, so they just decide to use plastic instead and stick a tag on there. I don't know. I think that's really frustrating because maybe just not put the label on the pineapple. I mean, it doesn't do anything to begin with. The last thing / things that are in my jar are about 600 fruit stickers. Some of them are folded and really small, and then some of them are larger, like 2 of these. Hold on, you know, they're stickers, it's kind of hard. Anyway, so these 3 stickers, this one on the front, the one I've stuck on the back, and then this one, all came from the same watermelon. Don't know why so many stickers were needed, don't know why a sticker was needed to begin with, but here they are. So did I have a plastic-free July? No, but I tried. Ultimately though, I think I fared pretty well. A lot of the stuff in my jar was actually something I couldn't avoid, such as the dental floss, the fruit stickers, the plastic tags that came on the pineapple. So the trash that I did create wasn't really optional, except for like 1 or 2 things. So that shows that I made a lot of decisions during July that would curb non-recyclable items. So I think I did pretty well. Surprise, this video has a second part to it, and it is a rant that I need to get off my chest at this point. I'm very aggravated by this argument that I have seen circulating, so I am going to address that. Recently, I've seen a lot of viral tweets, Facebook posts, and articles about people who are essentially discrediting environmentalists who choose to be productive through making better choices with their consumerism, and saying that instead people should directly target companies who are polluting instead of making individual choices. While this argument holds water, it insinuates that there has to be an ultimatum. Either you participate in environmentalism through being a more responsible consumer and rejecting certain forms of plastic and non-recyclable items, or you participate in environmentalism by fighting capitalism and imperialism. The ideology that you have to do one or the other is completely ridiculous in my opinion. Obviously, dealing with the problem from the roots instead of the leaves is going to be more effective. I'm not arguing that. But the flaw with only choosing to fight at the root is that you need political power and political gain in order for your efforts to be fruitful. Otherwise, you're just fighting a system that is only going to oppress you, which is what we are experiencing right now. When you make responsible decisions as a consumer, you have more concrete power, considering that we vote with our purchases. Therefore, if you make more responsible decisions, you're not contributing to the worst forms of capitalism and imperialism. The way you balance both, and what I think everybody should do, is to make responsible decisions as a consumer and vote in a way that is going to take some power away from companies that are polluting the earth and participating in petitions and protests and everything involving that. You don't have to do one or the other. My main point is that climate change and pollution are not going to halt and wait for some kind of revolution to happen. Climate change and pollution are happening right now, and I think every able-bodied person has a responsibility to combat that in any way that they can. Like I said, you don't have to do one or the other, and I honestly think the most effective way is to balance both. And that's what I think about that. So if you've made it this far in the video, I, 1, appreciate you listening to my rant, and 2, thank you for showing your interest in plastic-free July and or reducing your waste. I have absolutely no clue when my next video is going to be up. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, but I will see you then. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to, and bye.